हेलो फ्रेंड्स, आज हम कुछ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेंगे फ्रॉम द चैप्टर सेट्स रिलेशंस एंड फंक्शंस। सो पहला प्रॉब्लम मैंने बोर्ड पे लिख दिया है। इसमें हमें दिया गया है एक्स स्क्वायर इज बिटवीन 2 to 3 and we have to find the number of positive roots of this equation. This given equation is, this bracket is fractional part of x. Fractional part of x square is equal to fractional part of 1 by x. We have to find the number of positive roots of this given equation. And the options are 0, 1, 2 or 3. We have to find only the positive roots. So we will assume that x is greater than 0. And we know that any number, already I told you, any real number is equal to its integral part plus its fractional part. So x can be written as integral part of x plus fractional part of x. So here, putting this condition in this given equation, this equation will become, fractional part of x square will become x square minus integral part of x square, because fractional part of anything is equal to that thing minus integral part of that thing, is equal to, fractional part of anything is equal to that thing minus integral part of that thing. So fractional part of any real number is equal to its that real number itself minus its integral part. Now, since we have to find the positive roots, we have already assumed x is greater than 0. What is x square? We don't know. It is a number between 2 to 3. But what is the integral part of x square? X square is between 2 to 3. Whenever on the number line I told you it is 2, it is 3. Whenever we have an input from 2 to 3, we have to move leftwards. And when we are moving leftwards, first number that will come, it is 2. So integral part of x square is always 2. Whatever is x square, it is always between 2 to 3. When we will move leftwards will first integer that we will encounter is 2. So integral part of x square is 2. 1 by x as it is, minus, we have to find the integral part of 1 by x. If x square is between 2 to 3, if x square is between 2 to 3, then x will be between root 2 to root 3, because we know x is positive. So no need to take the negative. X is between root 2 to root 3. If x is between root 2 to root 3, 1 by x is between 1 by root 3 to 1 by root 2. When 1 by x is between 1 by root 3 and 1 by root 2, that means 1 by x is always less than 1 and greater than 0. 1 by x is greater than 0 but less than 1. Any number which is between 0 to 1, on the number line again it is 0, it is 1. Any number which is between 0 to 1, its integral part will be 0, because we have to move leftwards. Then integral part of 1 by x is always 0. Now we have this equation, x square minus 2 is equal to 1 by x. Now it is very easy problem. Now we have to cross multiply and we have to find the number of roots of this equation, keeping in mind that we have to find the positive roots only. Then we can cross multiply. After cross multiplying, we will have x cube minus 2x minus 1 is 0. X cube minus 2x minus 1 is 0. Now it is a cubic equation. We know what is the type of graph of cubic equation. It is something like this. It will have two turning points. Since the coefficient of x cube is positive, when x is infinity, this graph will touch infinity. Y will be infinity. It will come down somewhere. It will take first turn. When x is minus infinity, again it will go to minus infinity. So the shape of the graph is like this, but we have to find how many times it will intersect x-axis, because it can be like this, it can also be like this, it can also be like this. So it will be any one of these kind. So we have to find how many positive roots this will have. Positive roots we can find by finding the number of times it is intersecting the positive side of the x-axis. Now how to do it? Let us differentiate this. Let us differentiate this to find the minimum and maximum values of this function. Here we have minima, here we will have maxima. So what is derivative of this? 3x square minus 2. Let us put this derivative equal to 0. So this derivative is 0 whenever x is plus root 2 by 3 or minus root 2 by 3. That means this graph is here somewhere will have 2 by root 3, here somewhere will have minus 2 by root 3. We need not consider the negative side of x-axis. We will only consider the positive side of x-axis because we want positive roots. Now, here it is infinity. It is coming down, 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 down. Also we know whenever the sign of f dash x changing from negative to positive, at that point we will have minima. Whenever it changes from positive to negative, at that point we have maxima. So this is f dash x. This f dash x can be written as 3 root 3 x minus root 2 into root 3 x plus root 2. So it is equal to 0. So draw the number line. Here we have minus root 2 by 3. And here we have plus root 2 by 3. Now we have to start with positive because both the signs of x are positive. So positive, negative, positive. That means whenever x is plus 2 by root 3, the sign of f dash x is changing from negative to positive. And whenever it changes from negative to positive, at that point what do we have? Negative to positive. It is minimum. Whenever it changes from positive to negative, at that point we have maximum. So here it will have minima, and very easily we can see whenever x is 0, put x equal to 0, the value of the function is negative. The value of the function is negative because 0 minus 1 is minus 1. That means minimum value must be negative because from after root 2 by 3 it is increasing. From minus root 2 by 3 to this to root 2 by 3 it is decreasing. Again it will increase because of sign of f dash x. So if at 0 it is negative, definitely at minimum value it is negative. Because from here to here it is increasing. After increasing also it is negative, means before increasing it is lesser than that. It is negative. So that means only one place it is intersecting the positive side of x-axis. Second intersection, if it happens, will happen on the negative side. Because second maxima is at negative x. And at 0 it is negative. At 0 it is negative means at only one place it is intersecting the positive side of the x-axis. That means number of positive root is only 1. We only have to find the number of roots. There is no need to find what is the value of the root, what is the actual root. That is not needed. We only have to tell the number of roots of this equation, that is 1. Right? If the problem is find the negative roots also, then we will have to take two cases, that x is positive and x is negative. But that is not required. Here only we have to find the positive root. So answer is 1. Now we will move to the next problem. In the next problem, we are given a set A which contains 4 elements 1, 2, 3 and 4. Another set B is given which contains 3 elements A, B and C. We have to find the number of functions from A to B which are not onto. We have to find the number of possible functions from A to B which are not onto. So how we will do this? First, we will find the total number of functions from A to B. Total function from A to B. From this, we will subtract the functions which are onto. So total functions minus onto functions, we will get the functions which are not onto, because either function is onto or not onto. There is no other case. So total minus onto functions will give us the functions which are not onto. What are the total functions from A to B? Already we know how to do it. Every input has how many choices? 3 choices. So 1 has 3 choice, 2 has 3 choice, 1 has 3 choice, and 2 has 3 choice, and 3 has 3 choice, and 4 has 3 choice. So total functions are 3 power 4. From this we have to subtract the onto functions. We have to subtract the onto functions. Now the problem is how to find the number of onto functions from A to B. Already last video we did one problem like this which came in IIT Advanced 2018, where we were asked to find the onto functions from one set to another set. It is a similar problem. What is a onto function? Onto function means everything in the output set should be occupied. There should not be any extra element in the output. Everything should be have some corresponding element in the input. That means these 4 inputs are to be distributed to 3 outputs. 4 objects are to be distributed to 4 things, 4 persons. It is like that, permutation and combination problem. 4 things are to be distributed to 3 individuals or 3 outputs. How we can do this? First we will arrange this, then we will arrange it, and then we will distribute it to 1, 2 and 3. How to arrange it? 4 things we have to divide in 3 groups. We can do it 2, 1, 1. To 1 we can give 2, and other 2 we can give 1, 1 each. Now in how many ways this sequence, there is no other way. 2, 1, 1. This is the only possibility. So in how many ways this can arrange? Total things are 4. 2, 3, 4. So total arrangements are 4 factorial. But we have to divide it by 2 factorial because 2 are grouped together. Then 2 are similar. 2 are ones. They are same. So for this we have to divide with 2 factorial. After this arrangement, we can distribute it to any one of A, B and C. They will arrange. So total number of, this is onto functions, number of onto functions. So total number of onto functions are, it is 6 into 6, 36. So total onto functions are 36. That means answer is 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 is 81 minus 36. Total functions minus onto functions, which is 45. So there are 45 functions from A to B. Total 45 functions can be made from A to B which are not onto. So here important part is, this thing is very easy. We can find total number of functions. Important thing is we should be able to find the onto functions from one function to one set to another set. If we are able to find the onto functions, we can subtract it from total functions and we can get the not onto functions. So now we'll move to the next problem. Now next problem हमें दिया गया है एक function है which is from R to R, real number to real number. It is a real function. Set A is given which is a subset of R. A set B is given which is also a subset of R. And 4 options are given. First option is function of A union B is equal to function of A union function of B. Second is function of A intersection B is function of A intersection of function of B. Third is function of A complement is function A complement of total. Fourth is function of A by B is equal to function of A divided by function of B. We have to find which one is correct. So let us draw these sets A and B. Let us say on the Venn diagram this is set A and this is set B. On the Venn diagram we have drawn set A and set B. What is FA? FA is the output when input is A. That is, input is a different set, output set is different set, codomain or range. Let us draw the output set. It is input set. Now we are drawing the output set. So here we will have FA and FB. FA is the input, is the output when input is A. FB is the output when input is B. And there is some intersection also between A and B. Then what will happen at these for these points that they will be in both FA also, FB also. Now let us look at option number 1. They are saying that function of A union B, that means output when input is A union B. What is A union B? this total shaded region is A union B. So left hand side of this option A is output when input is this shaded region, either A or B or both. Right hand side is f of A, total f of A union f of B. So right hand side is this total shaded region. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Why? Why? Because when A is the input, output is FA. When B is the input, output is FB. When input is either A or B or both, output is either FA or FB or both. There is no other possibility. We cannot have an output which is outside of FA or outside of FB, outside of both. We cannot have, because whenever input is from this set A, output is within this FA. Whenever input is within B, output is within FB. So whatever is the output, it is only between FA union FB. There is nothing outside FA union FB, because that output we cannot get, because input is A and B. Right? So option 1 is true. But we will also verify other options to check whether they are also true or not. Second option is f of A intersection B is equal to f of A intersection f of B. What is f of A intersection B? F of A intersection B is this only common region. F of A intersection B is this intersection common region. If this is the input is from the common points which are in both A and B, then output is FA intersection FB. This is FA, this is FB. When input is from the intersection region, output should also be from the intersection region. But this is not so. It is wrong. Why? This is wrong because it is possible. We know in a function, two different inputs can have same output. That means it is possible that here outside intersection region, let us say somewhere we have in A -1. Outside intersection region, somewhere in B we have 1. Now with both -1 and 1, output can be same. If output is same, that will come in the intersection region. But that is not the output for intersection. In the intersection region, both things will come. Outputs for those which are common, and those things will also come which are many, 1. Here it is outside of intersection region, here it is outside of intersection region. But it is possible that both have same output, because two inputs can have one output, many one function, then it will come to the intersection region. So this is not true, because it is not covering this case. So this is not true. Now we'll look at option C. Option C is function of A complement is equal to function of A complement of that. That means we have to draw this Venn diagram again, because now we have only one set A. Let us say this is input set A and this is output set FA. FA. This is FA and this is A. Now output, when input is outside of A, when this is the input, A complement is the input, then what is the output? When input is A complement, output will be complement of FA. It should be the case, but we know there can be a function where we have extra elements in the codomain FA. That is, let us say set A has 2 or 3 elements, 1, 2 and 3. Codomain has 4 sets A, B, C and D. 1 is mapped to this, 2 is mapped to this, 3 is mapped to this, but there is also D in the codomain. If that is the case, then FA complement will also contain that D. Because FA complement means whatever is the output for A, all other outputs, all remaining outputs are in FA complement. So this is FA, this FA complement is this shaded region. FA complement is the shaded region. It contains both which are in range and which are extra also. So this right hand side is greater than left hand side, so this is also not true. It is also not true, because if this is the case, then this is not true, and we don't know whether this is the case or not, so we cannot say it is not always true, so it cannot be the answer. Option D is f of a by b is equal to f of a divided by f of b. This we know from algebra of functions that f of a by b is equal to f of a divided by f of b. This we know. But one thing we also know that it is true only if fb is not equal to 0. fb is not equal to 0. Then only this is true. Otherwise it is not defined. So in this problem we don't know whether fb is 0 or not. So this is not always true. So this cannot be the answer. So answer is A. F of A union B is equal to f of A union f of B. Always this is true. Now we'll move to the next problem. Now next problem is also very good problem. In this we are given a function fx which is minus x into mod of x divided by 1 plus x square, and we have to find what is f inverse x, where options are these four. We have to find what is f inverse. So how to do it? If you want to do it in an easier way, then what to do? First find out what is in the domain of this function, because in the inverse domain will become the range, and we have to find what is range. That range will become domain after taking the inverse. So what is in the domain of this function? Domain of the function is any real number r, because denominator is never 0. It is 1 plus x square. It is always positive. There is no other condition. So it is a function from R2. And what is a range? It is minus x square if x is positive divided by x square plus 1, which is more than that. That means denominator is always greater than numerator. When x is 0, it is 0. When x is infinity, it will become 1. That means output is from minus 1 to 1. That means it is a function in which domain is any real number and range is minus 1 to 1. After taking the inverse, this will become domain and this will become range. So draw these sets. Let us say this is input set before taking the inverse. This is x and this is y. Input set, output set before taking the inverse. Put x equal to 0. When x is 0, what is the output? Output is 0. Put x equal to 1. When input is 1, what is the output? Output is minus 1 by 2. Put input as minus 1. When input is minus 1, what is the output? It will become plus 1 by 2. Now, after taking the inverse, this is the function from here to here. But after taking the inverse, function is from y to x. That means this is the function. It is f inverse x from y to x. Now from the given options, check which one is satisfying this condition. Let us assume option A is true. Then when input is 0, output should be 0. It is satisfying that. When input is minus 1 by 2, output should be plus 1. Put input as minus 1 by 2, so mod will make it plus 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 by 1 by 2, which is plus 1. But we should have 1. Okay. Now third condition is when x is 1 by 2, output should be minus 1. When x is 1 by 2, here also output is plus 1. But actually we should get the output minus 1. Because as per this function, when input is in the inverse, when input is 1 by 2, output should be minus 1. So A is not the answer. B is the answer. Is B the answer? B is sine of x into same thing. Now look, whenever input is negative, we are talking about inverse function. We have taken the inverse. In the inverse function, whenever input is negative, output should be positive. Whenever input is positive, output should be negative. So sign should change. But here it is given sine of x into mod of x. That means inverse and x have the same sign. So it is also not true. Check option C. In option C, the answer is always negative because minus is outside and under root of anything is always positive. If it is defined, it is always positive. So it is always negative, but we want positive answer also. So it is also not the answer. So answer is D. So this is the simpler way to do this. But what is the actual answer? To find this, what we should do? To find the actual answer, we know to find the inverse, we have to find the y in terms of x and then replace x with y and y with x. So we'll do that. What is y? Y or fx is same. Y is put mod whenever x is greater than 0. Mod x is plus x. It will become minus x square by 1 plus x squared. And whenever x is less than 0, mod x is minus x. Minus minus will become plus. We'll have x square upon 1 plus x square. Whenever x is negative. Now cross multiply this and find x in terms of y. We'll have y plus x square into y plus x square is 0. Y plus x square into y plus x square is equal to 0. This is the case when x is greater than or equal to 0. Input is from real numbers, so the input can be from 0 to infinity. Second is the case when x is less than 0. Here we will have y plus x square minus x square is 0. Minus x square is 0. This is the case when x is less than 0. So what is x in terms of y? X square will become, in this case it is minus y upon 1 plus y when x is greater than or equal to 0. And it is equal to, x square is equal to y upon 1 minus y whenever x is less than 0. So we have simplified these two. We'll get x square is equal to minus y upon 1 plus y whenever x is positive, and it is plus y upon 1 minus y whenever x is negative. Now, whenever x is positive, now let us replace x with y and y with x. So this will become y square and here we will have x. So we have taken the inverse and we have defined the inverse in terms of x. So we have replaced x with y and y with x. So this y square represents f inverse x square. Y is now f inverse x because we have replaced x with y. Now, but here also we have to make the replacement. Whenever x is positive, come here, whenever x was positive, y was negative, because all other things are positive and we have negative sign. Whenever x is positive, y will become negative. So here we can say x is less than 0 and here we will have x is greater than 0. Yes or no? Because now we have replaced x with y, so here this x is actually y, this y which is negative whenever x was positive. So sign will change. Now this is the inverse of fx. Now look carefully at this. Whenever x is negative, here we have minus x, here we have plus x. So can we write it like this? Mod of x and this also mod of x with negative sign. Both are same. Why? Because whenever x is negative, mod x is to be replaced with minus x. We will get minus x, and here also mod x will be replaced by minus x. It will become 1 plus x. So previous one or this, both are same. Similarly, whenever x is positive, we can directly replace x with mod x, because whenever x is positive, x and mod x are same. So in both the cases, we have mod of x divided by 1 minus mod of x. That means f inverse x is under root of mod of x upon 1 minus mod of x. Whatever is x, may be positive, may be negative. In both the cases, it is under root of this. But again, same thing. F inverse x is not always positive. Sometimes it is positive, sometimes it is negative. When it is positive, whenever input is negative. When it is negative, whenever input is positive. So sign of x is opposite to sign of f inverse x. So here we have to put, because under root of anything is plus minus of that thing. So here we have to write minus sine of x, minus sine of x, because sine of f inverse x is opposite to sine of x. So minus sine of x. Minus sine of x means if here we have minus, then this would have become the correct answer, because sine of x and f inverse x are opposite. So correct answer is this, and this we can verify from this also. Whenever input is 1 by 2, output should come negative. Whenever input is 1 by 2, this will give us 1, and because of this minus of sine x means whatever is sine of x, take negative of that. We are putting input plus, so it will become minus. So minus 1. So this is correct. So this is the answer. So now next lecture we will discuss more problems from maybe graphs or functions. Thank you.